In this world, with all this toxic masculinity and all these weird terms being thrown around, the patriarchy, whatever nonsense they want to do whenever it comes to shaming masculinity and dominance as a characteristic, one thing that really is backwards whenever you think about it is the mindset of a martial artist. And this video might seem biased, and maybe it is a little bit biased, being honest, because I'm kind of talking about myself in this because I fit in that category of somebody who's trained for a while. I'm not trying to toot my own horn or anything. I'm just honestly sharing my experiences with how my life has been with training in martial arts. One thing that's really sad is that in this world there's this huge stigma that masculinity and fighting and dominance, all this stuff is just wrong, especially in America, in a first world country. We're in a country where we can afford to be feminist. If we're in the wild, toxic masculinity doesn't exist in the wild because we're trying to survive. We're in a world where we think we don't need men that have a fighting spirit and all this stuff. We still need men because guess what? Toxic masculinity would go out the window if we were drafted into a war. If something would hit the fan, stuff would go wild, people would just go crazy. If there's a whole bunch of chaos in society, then you would call for the same toxically masculine men to come fight for you. I don't want to go too deep into that, but my experiences in martial arts, I don't want to end up telling my whole story in this, but whenever I was a kid, I've always been a weirdo. I've always hung out with the weirdos and outcasts. I've had a lot of emo, goth, or whatever, alternative friends. Actually, the vast majority of my girlfriends have been emo or weird or a little bit off, not gonna lie. Maybe I'm a little bit off, and maybe I'm on the spectrum somewhere, being honest. But, I was bullied and made fun of and stuff as a kid, and I really had a lot of built-up tension and anger. And once you have that bitterness inside your heart, which, of course, you shouldn't have that. You need to get rid of that. And I think, I've read something in the Bible talks about giving a place to anger. It's probably in there somewhere. Don't quote me on this, but I think the Bible teaches that we should give place to anger. We shouldn't just harbor onto it and be bitter. Of course, that's a sin. That doesn't mean that, that it's wrong to have an outlet. And once you live for a certain amount of time where you have all this pent-up emotions and anger or fuel or whatever, you probably don't even realize that you're unhealthy in the mind. But, whenever I first started working out and doing martial arts and stuff, it was like a relief. It's like, wow, I actually have control over this type of stuff. It gave me a sense of control, and I really craved that. Because I was at a point in my life where I felt like I was a victim and there's nothing I could do to get out of this rut. And ironically, martial arts was probably one of the best things that ever happened to me. And, of course, the fact that I'm saved and I'm a Christian, that is the absolute best thing. There's no comparison, anything in the world that compares to the fact that Jesus is in my heart now, that I'm saved and I'm going to heaven. There's nothing that compares to that. But I'm saying that when it comes to the operations in this world and just other things besides religion and spirituality, martial arts has got to be one of the best things that's happened in my life, in my character development. I mean, it's given me discipline. It's made me humble because I've taken a lot of L's in life. I've taken a lot of L's, and I know what it feels like to work hard and lose and work hard and lose. And I now have sympathy for other people. Back when I first started lifting and stuff, you might not believe it. I don't want to go too deep into my testimony and stuff. I was still nice to people, but I had a jerk mindset where I thought, hey, winners win, losers lose. If you get it, you got it type of thing. Hey, if you didn't win, maybe you just didn't work hard enough, and stop being a wuss and just win and blah, blah, blah. But then after working hard and losing and working hard and losing and losing, it really changed my mindset. It's like, wow, okay, just because you're winning doesn't mean that you worked hard, harder than your opponent and type of stuff like that. And I don't want to get too deep into that, but it gave me more of a respect for other people. that I don't think I could have learned it any other way besides the fact that I was humbled. It's really sad the fact that, I haven't really looked too deep into it, and I'm not gonna lie, I do quote a lot of things that I've kind of just heard. I need to look more into this, look deeper into this, but I've seen people talk about how like there's certain states that are really considering banning martial arts training because they think that that's gonna actually make people worse. No, man. I'm telling you, dude, get one of these punks. Even if they decide that they do want to learn a martial art just because they want to go around and beat somebody up, dude, I guarantee you, man, put them in just an average boxing gym. Because again, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I've been in these experiences where, for example, I'll tell this one story. There was this one dude, he came out of jail, he had a bunch of tattoos and everything, and he said that he dealt drugs or he smoked drugs or something like that. He had some influence of drugs in his life, and he talked about, I've had over 100 jail fights or something crazy. I can't remember the exact number, but he's basically saying, I've been on the streets, blah, blah, blah. Had this, like, seemingly like a big ego when it came to his ability to fight. It was in a boxing gym, and, the coach was telling me, man, can you get some rounds with this guy? Because I think coach wanted me to kind of humble him in a way, and that's, again, I'm not trying to brag when I'm telling you this, but dude, I technically knocked him out. I hit him. I did that Mike Tyson combo, jab to the body, jab to the body, jab to the body, cross to the head, and it knocked him down. And then he just laid there. The dude couldn't breathe. This is a real story, and he's just. It just really showed, like, bro, you can put up this big image and be this toxically masculine dude or whatever. You can act like that guy all you want. But here, me, this 18-year-old, tall, skinny, because I used to be really skinny. I'm still built skinny. You can probably see it in my wrists and my fingers and stuff. I'm not like a big, thick guy. That's just from the gym and stuff and just trying to get bigger and bigger. But, naturally, I'm a tall, skinny guy. And just seeing this tall, skinny, baby-faced 18-year-old kid knock out this grown man that came out of jail or prison or something. It's like, dude, like, people put up a front whenever they don't know how to fight. Dude, again, anything I'm going to say, I'm not trying to brag, I'm telling you. I'm just trying to tell you how it really is. Man, I don't go around bragging and trying to convince everybody the fact that I'm some, big tough guy or anything. To be honest, though, you really don't know what people are capable of. I can look at somebody who's skinny or a loser-looking guy, skinny or fat or looks out of shape or whatever. Hey, I don't know if that guy, he could be a Muay Thai world champion. He could be a jiu-jitsu guy. He could be a good wrestler, You really don't know what people are capable of. But people, they try to put up this front when they don't know how to fight. It's the complete opposite. If you don't want toxically masculine or whatever the term is, you don't want these crazy men running in society, you want to do the opposite. You want to put them in martial arts because they're going to be humbled. You want to put them in a dangerous situation. You want to put them where they have a little bit of nerves going because, man, for instance, on the internet, of course, everybody, all of a sudden they become big tough guys and say all this random weird stuff. But in real life, of course, it's a different story. And I'm not trying to say that to sound like some jerk or anything. It's just how it is. Like, it's like that with everybody. Everybody's nervous when it comes to a physical confrontation and actually being face-to-face with somebody compared to the internet or compared to having a gun or a weapon or baseball bat. When it's you and that person in a ring, all of a sudden you're a lot more respectful. And I'm not saying that everybody should be fighting or anything, but I am saying though, man, take one of these people, these kids that are out of control. He just can't control himself. He's just got anger issues. He's wild, blah blah blah. Man, whatever excuse he's gonna come up with, man, put him in a ring against a kid his size, his age, his same build, and all this stuff. All of a sudden, man, you're gonna see that kid's demeanor change wildly. Why? Because he has a little bit of nerves going. He sees there's a consequence to me acting wild. There's a consequence to me being some jerk are having these anger issues, so-called, or whatever, man. All these anger issues, and I have this mental disability, man. I just say whatever I think, and I'm wild and blah. Man, shut up, bro. Also, man, like with these racists, these people that are just blatantly racist, admit that they're racist, man. I think I made it. I made this point in my video talking about the valley of negativity, man. Put those racists in a ring with Mike Tyson. I want to see how racist they're going to be when they're looking dead in the eyes of Mike Tyson, Deontay Wilder, Francis Ngannou, Israel Adesanya, Kamaru Usman, whoever it is, man. Daniel Cormier, John Jones, against all these black dudes that could kill them so easily. I want to see how racist they are, man. Dude, it is the opposite. You want a man to actually be a more respectful man, to be a better person in society, to be more disciplined, to be more lovable, to be just a overall better person. You would get that from martial arts, man. Because I had a lot of pride. I really did whenever I was very new to martial arts. I didn't have much experience, but then after being humbled and being humbled again and taking another L and getting beat up by a dude half my size, all this stuff, it really changed me as a human being, man. It is the complete opposite, man. You want men to be better? Put them in martial arts. And when I say that, I'm talking about a martial art you actually, like, it's not like you're just thinking you're some Bruce Lee walking around with all these crazy ninja moves. No, I'm talking about actual martial art where you're sparring against somebody, where there is at least a little bit of a sense of danger. Because every 18-year-old kid, man, they got these huge chips on their shoulders, man. Hey, I used to be that guy. I used to be really proud and think that I was the biggest, baddest dude around until I got folded, man. And ironically, that helped me to become a stronger person because I realized, okay, that didn't work. I need to try this instead. Or, maybe I shouldn't be so pompous and proud because you don't know what people are capable of, man. This is really, really deep in my heart, and it really irritates me when people genuinely think that putting somebody in martial arts is going to make them a worse person. It is the complete opposite, man. I'm telling you, bro. Get the most proud, arrogant, pompous dude. I don't care how physically gifted he is or anything, or how mentally, whenever it comes to the technique, bro. That pride will go away once he gets beat up enough, and he's going to get beat up. His martial arts, man. It doesn't matter how tough you are if you don't know the technique. It doesn't matter how strong you are, how fast you are, how good in shape you are, how tall you are, how long you are, whatever it is. It doesn't matter, bro. You don't know what you're doing, you will get folded. And the only way to learn that technique is by real life encounters, like sparring and stuff, man. Because maybe I shouldn't make this video too long, but for example, back when I first started training Muay Thai, a lot of these moves and stuff that they were teaching, in my head it was kind of like theory, because of course we're doing a bunch of drilling, we're doing jump rope, we're doing footwork drills, we're practicing our combos. You got 1, 2, 3 leg kick, and then you got switching stance, and you got your teeps and knees, getting me feeling like, oh wow, I could really do this. But then once I actually hop in the ring sparring, it's a whole different story now. It's a whole different story. Live goes and sparring, it's really valuable. I'm not saying it's the only way to learn. Of course, drilling, of course it has a huge application in getting better, but a lot of these things go out the window whenever it comes to real life application. Now, you can hit the bag with this nice 12 hit combo. You got the 1, 2, 3 leg kick, and then you got switch stance, 1, 3 left leg kick or whatever, man. Or whatever. You got all these weird combos. That's all theory until you actually hop in the ring and spar with somebody, especially against somebody who's a lot more experienced than you too. Because back when the Muay Thai guy, it's a whole different story, but he can't come to the gym anymore. But back whenever he was my coach, it was kind of scary sparring with him, because everything that I tried, he had an answer for it, and he learned that answer from live sparring. We did a lot of drilling and stuff, but he just did things that you can't really learn unless you've been in the fire. So it's the opposite, man. Martial arts has changed my life dramatically. It's made me a lot more humble, a lot more humble. It made me harder of a worker. It's made me a lot more disciplined. It's made me also a lot more courageous. I believe in myself now because I know what I can do, and I'm not trying to brag. I'm just being completely honest. It has helped me so much as a human being. It is the complete opposite. You think you're going to make people worse by putting them into martial arts? You think that people are going to get more toxically masculine by joining a boxing gym? It is the complete opposite, man. 'Cause I've seen some dudes that act super hard, man, but once they step in that ring, they all of a sudden get soft as butter, soft as baby poop. Everybody's like that, man. It's all theory. All the front you put up and all that stuff, it's all theory until you actually hop in the ring, man, and do some sparring. But man, it really gets to me. Attacking martial arts is like it's attacking one of the beacons of true character development as a man. You want better men in society? I'm telling you, man, just have one sparring match a year. Take the most wild, proud dude or whatever, dude that thinks that he's the king, Superman. Put him in the ring against a guy, probably even half his size. Let him get beat up every once in a while. You will see the change in that man. And of course, it's going to hurt at first, but it's going to make him a better person. This really irritates me because I know for a fact martial arts helps you as a man, makes you a better person, okay? Attacking, like, I know I've said this like 10,000 times. I don't want to keep repeating myself, but man, I'm just going to say it one last time. Do not destroy martial arts. Do not take that away from men. Because if you don't have an outlet as a man, what are you going to do? You might have to put up a front. You might, because people like, dude, I'm telling you, man, the average dude thinks he knows how to fight until he hops in the ring and realizes, I don't know anything. Against a dude half his size, against a dude half his weight, a lot shorter, a lot nerdy looking. Doesn't matter, man. If you don't know what you're doing, you will get messed up. And that's a humbling fact. I'm telling you, man, you want to learn about life? Of course, we need to learn about the Bible and stuff. Of course, we need to go to church. We need to, speak to old men and old women and just people that have experience in this world. Of course, that has its place. Of course, 100%. I recommend that more than anything. It's spiritual exercise that's better. It's not just all physical. But I am telling you also, man, you will learn a lot about life talking to people that have been through the hard times when it comes to training in martial arts, man. People that have taken L's, but they persevered and kept going, and they just kept trying and kept training. You will learn a lot about life, and it'll make you so much of a better person. If you take away martial arts, you're taking away one of the best institutions on this planet to make you a more quality human being. But I've already said that about 10 times. Thank you for watching. God bless.